Hi everyone, this is Dina, the Nightly Stitcher. I was getting ready to upload a video to YouTube. It's a tour of my sewing room slash craft room. And I didn't mention that this video is not really going to have any cross stitch in it, other than you're going to see framed stuff that I have on the wall. I didn't want you to sit there and keep watching thinking when's she going to get the cross stitch out, or all that. So this is going to be more of sewing machines, fabric, how I have my sewing room set up, things along that line, what I have tucked away in all the little nooks and crannies. So anyway, this is my Sunday hair. I haven't even brushed it. This is my favorite shirt that you all have seen probably in almost every video because I love it, and I have it on again today. I think I wore it in my last video. But anyway, it's Sunday. I am just sitting around. I'm going to watch another football game in a little bit, but I wanted to let you know it doesn't have much cross stitch in it, but you might still enjoy looking at it. So I just wanted to tack that on at the start of this video before I upload it. So I'm going to try to do my quilting room at some point. Then there will be cross stitch there because I have all my cross stitch supplies in that room instead of this room. So anyway, I will let you go and get this whatever attached to the start of the other video, and I hope you enjoy it anyway. So thanks. Bye. Hi everyone, this is Dina, the Nightly Stitcher, here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. If you want to follow me over there, you'll find all my cross stitch that I am working on there or have finished. But I have been saying for the last year or so that I was going to do a video of my craft room slash sewing room, and it stays in such a mess that I kept putting it off, and I get it partly cleaned up and then it would be a mess again. Then I get it partly cleaned up and it'd be a mess again. So I've decided I'm just going to do this today. It's somewhat cleaned up, but it's never going to be any better, I don't think, than what it is right now. So we're just going to go with it because I need to get back in there and start making a mess again. So this is looking from the hall into my sewing room, and I have right above our door a welcome to my happy place. Also, I'm trying to use one of these balancer stick things that I got last year for Christmas and have never used. So I'm going to try to get this to work. So if it wobbles around, I'm sorry. It's still going to be better than me holding it in my hand. So yeah, anyway, this is what it is. I have my welcome to my happy place sign. This, and outside, I'll show you my mess outside. I wasn't going to show it, but I will show it. This is a bookshelf that we have that is right across from our balcony doors. And I just have all my books here, which isn't at all sewing related or cross stitch or what. This down here, it's going to be a little harder to see, is a train case that I want to redo the inside of that I haven't done. I just set it out here to kind of not show it in my video, but I will now. This is the white sewing case is a sewing machine I picked up the other day. Needs to be worked on. I like to redo vintage sewing machines and get them up and running, and then I like to switch them out from time to time in my sewing room and actually sew on them. This one over here, the pink one, is one that I have been sewing on. Let me see if I can get down there. I have been sewing on that one, but I am getting ready to switch it out. I need to carry it down to the basement and put it away. So it's just sitting there for the time being. So right out here, I'm going to back up just a second. So these are a couple of antique irons that I have. That one and this one, because I collect a lot of antique irons. I collect a lot of stuff, period. Okay, I'm afraid this may be going wonky and not be balanced. This is our balcony door, straight outside my sewing room. So as you go in my sewing room, all right, I think I'm going to have to help this along because it's really going wonky. Hold on a minute. Okay, that's not helping. All right, I'm just going to have to balance this with my hand too. Okay, as you go in my sewing room, this jar down here is years and years and years and years of orts. It's a good sized jar, and I just keep adding more to it and pushing it down. I know people say you can put them out for the birds, but I don't. I just keep saving them. And Tootie has come to see us. Say hi, Tootie. She's going to whine, probably want me to pick her up. Back behind there's some scrapbook paper in that plastic tub. You're going to see stuff tucked here and there. I got some foam core board there. Let me get inside my sewing room and turn around. So this is one machine that I stitch at. I have my fan there because if you watch my floss tubes, you know I'm hot all the time. Okay, this is a vintage dress that I have. I am going to attempt to prop this on my thumb a little bit. Okay, it's a vintage dress I've had for many, many years. I've got several. This is probably not going to work. I may have to re-record all of this. Let me see if I can back out a little bit. Well, it's really not doing much good either. But anyway, I've got some vintage clothing there. Right up here is just a cute little doll I like. I have my officially retired banner hung over my door. And I pulled these off. These are just some vintage wooden hoops. And don't know, something is getting in the way of my phone and I can't figure out what it is. There, I slid it over a little bit. Okay, so this is my some of my cross stitch. This is Sewing Bee, I think, from the Blue Flower. This one is an R&R reproduction, so I don't know what that one is. This one is an Abbey Lane, I believe. These are all going to be fairly old, so I'm not going to be able to help you too much on the designs. This one is a Carriage House sampling, I think. All of my scattering moments are taken up with needle. This one, I'm pretty sure is a Carriage House there. Don't remember the name. So, golly, that one I'm kind of confused on too. It might be an Abbey Lane too. These have just been framed over the years and I just don't remember the names or some of the designers. I'm not sure on that one either. So that's what I have on this wall. This is my vintage. It's a 503A from Singers. It is an awesome, awesome machine. This is what I make my project bags on. And it is just a super great machine. I love it. I think I have some more in the basement. I said on my last video, I have probably 100 sewing machines in my basement that I'm gradually trying to get through and clean them all up, take them apart, clean them all up, and restore them and get them working. You know, some of them aren't too good. If I got them for nothing or little or nothing, then I use them for parts if they're not any good. Just a couple of lights. My junk that I use around my sewing table. My mom's vintage fan, which I'm not sure. Let me turn it. this was my mom's fan. I remember growing up as a kid. Mom and Dad always had this fan sitting in the living room, and we loved to talk to it, talk into it because your voice would vibrate. This certainly wouldn't pass child safety laws these days, but I love the fan. And so I have that. So that's fan number 2 here. That's all I have in here, but I sure could use some more. This is down here. This is a chair that I got from my neighbor lady. She gave me her sewing machine cabinet with her sewing machine in it and this little chair before she passed away. And so I have the machine downstairs in the cabinet and the chair's up here. I haven't refinished the chair cover. I don't know if this was original to it or not. A lot of these chairs, you could open them and store stuff in them, but this one does not. So let's see, keep going and you can keep looking at my mess. This is another sewing machine here that doing a lot of rattling. I'm not sure how good you're going to be able to see this. This is another, this is the machine I thought was downstairs. It's the same as the one I have up here. And I need to clean it, take it apart, restore it. So I haven't done anything with it yet. Those are scrap pieces, excuse me, scrap pieces that I just am sewing together from time to time and throw them in the bucket and eventually get a quilt block. This here, I'm sorry, I hope this is going to turn out. This is a gigantic glass pig. And he is holding all my thread spools, empty thread spools. So he sits tucked under there. And then I've got a couple of vintage quilts I got at an auction that is started. That's right behind there. You can see right over here. They're just vintage quilts that have been started. And I just put them under there. So then next I have this machine. I've got it covered up right now. It's a Bernina Activa 145. It is from a storage unit that my husband bought. And I actually don't sew on these new machines. Very, very seldom. I've put them up here to try to sew with them, and I really don't care for the plastic machines. I think this one is more metal on it, but I'd lots rather use my old vintage machines. These were expensive machines too. I looked them up to see what they retailed for. So yeah, they are expensive machines, but I just don't sew on them much. The old jar of M&Ms. Then I'm going to move back. This is just a little catch-all here too. I have my scissors, my tomato pin cushion collection, scissors again. I don't spend money on scissors. I just buy little cheapies because as long as they cut good, I don't care. When they don't cut good, they go in the junk. So a lot of these I've gotten, or my husband's gotten out of storage units. These kind of little inexpensive scissors he's gotten out of storage units. And it's like, well, I'll cut paper or something with them. I'm not real particular. So I'm going to have to slide that over again. I keep getting a shadow of something. This is some of my needle magnets. I have this big thing of magnets there to make more. I just keep, and this is an old broiler pan that I just have sitting on an easel. Some of these I got at StitchCon last year. Some of them I made. And I have more to make if I ever get in gear and do it. This is my all like water and Best Press and Windex and all that stuff. So that's what's there. I have This white cabinet I have labeled, so you can see I have safety pins, pre-wash tags. If I pre-wash fabric, I'll tag it. That's only for me when I'm quilting. I don't pre-wash fabric if I'm making project bags. Paper clips, tapes, my P-Touch labeler, some hoops, cotton thread, rulers, quilt label DVD, paper piecing supplies, tripod, clip-on light, power strips, extension cords. Down here I have sewing machine, cleaning supplies, tools, and machine manuals. So I'll open them up, let you have a little look. So these are all sewing machine manuals that I've printed out and bound that I want to get put with the machine that is in the basement so that they're all together. This is just like cleaning stuff I use when I'm working on a machine. I have my blade sharpener. It's in here. It's the... I'm not going to be able to open this, I don't think. Let me see. I may have to... Yeah, I use this type for my rotary cutting. It's the True Cut to sharpen my rotary blade. So this is just odd and end stuff here, Velcro. This one up here is really a mess. It's just electric cords, my magnifier headpiece. These are some random hoops that I don't really even use. I don't know why I hang on to them. These are pins, glue for paper piecing. So anyway, that's that. And look at this little girl. She wants me to pick her up. No, I'm busy. Down here is my AccuQuilt. It's a die cutting machine. It opens up. If you're a quilter, you know what I'm talking about, but it's for quilting. And then this little cart here has all my Pioneer Woman fabric on it that I use to make bags. So I got that, got some Disney fabric and odds and ends down there. This little shelf has my label maker, and this is one of those portable ironing boards that you take a TV tray and cover it with quilt batting, and you can take it and set it up anywhere. This is a gigantic bucket of scraps that I need to do something with that I've not got through. I've been cutting some scraps out, but I haven't got that. This is a piece that I was going to finish. I got this at a retreat in Orange Beach, Alabama. I think it was last fall. And the lady that I got it from, she had hers finished, and she cut the backing, and these little strips will go on all four sides of this. This is the backing piece. And then you can put it on a little dowel rod or whatever. So have that laid out. I'd like to get that finished. Then over here is my Recar sewing machine. This is another great sewing machine I've had for years, and I really like using it. Probably needs a really good cleaning. I try to get all this staining off of these, so I kind of need to work on that a little bit more. Down below, I just have a DVD player. No, CD player. These are odd and end. I may not get that drawer open the way everything's put together. Just some odd and end little quilt blocks or quilt pieces that I throw in there. Can't get that one open. This is all office supplies, highlighters, page protectors, notebooks, that kind of stuff. I keep these bags taped down to everything. I throw all my threads and stuff in it. And then as we move over here, this is another newer machine. This is a Bernina 1130. I do use it more than the other one. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I haven't gotten into the habit of it and this is what I use. But I do like sewing with this one real well. I didn't have to have any of these either one of these Berninas worked on. So this one also came out of a storage unit. So, yeah, I got that one. This is a windowsill full of thread parts, the feet for my Bernina. This is looking out from my window downstairs. The balcony is right there. Then as a backup, I have a piano bench is what I use here. And then I keep some of the old vintage, see which side raises up, this side. Some of the old vintage sewing machine parts in there. So I use that because I can switch it. I can use it here and then I can just move it just a bit this away and I can use it for this other machine. So then up here, this is a very old, 1997. It's a pattern from For My Boys. She no longer designs. She doesn't design anymore. I've got some little iron samples right there. It would be, I guess, merchant samples so they can see what they want to buy to carry in their store. A little tea shelf with a few vintage things in there. Old hoops. This is my babies from years ago. We still have, this is Teddy, this is Hannah that you've met. She looks a lot different now. This is Tanner. It's who we still have. And he is the dad to them. This is Emmy, and she is the mom to him, but we lost her in October of 2019. This came off of a calendar, and I just had to put it on the wall because the little girl is standing here with, and look at this look on her face. She's standing here with a sign on her that says, been to timeout 4 times before 10 a.m. The dog here says, I peed on the Chihuahua. This one says, I tried to kill Mr. Fishy. And this one says, I accidentally bit the child. So I thought, this poor mom, can you imagine? But I had to keep that and put it on my wall. This is another picture of all of our babies. This is Emmy on the back of the couch that we lost. We lost this little boy about 6 months after we lost Emmy. So we still have these two and these two. I'm going to get a tickle in my throat, so I'm going to have to go get a drink of soda here in a minute. This is a DMC cabinet. I'm going to pause and get a drink right quick. Okay, so this is a DMC cabinet. It doesn't have the decal on it, but it is a DMC cabinet. This is my rotary cutting mat. I keep, these are pens, wax paper, I don't know, rulers, odd and end stuff. These are some templates and patterns there for cutting stuff out. The bottom one is wood stains, glue sticks, dowel rods, that type of thing. This is a machine I just brought up recently. And I really like the way it sews. But I'm going to have the foot pedal looked at because it is either stopped or it's full speed ahead. So I don't know what's going on with the foot pedal. It has no in-between speed. So I don't know how to fix those. I can fix almost anything, but I don't know how to fix those foot pedals. And I can Google it, I guess, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So anyway, got my TV up here. Got this little felted piece, or a felt piece that I got at a shop. And then right above that, I just have some letters that say sew I thought about taking some cording and put between the letters and make it look like they're hanging from the cording, but I haven't ever got that far. So you're going to see a lot of just part-way finished pieces. The clock, which isn't right, because we changed time last night. Just some postcards that I like. I love sea turtles and manatees, and I got this from a Stitchy friend, Teresa Kogut card. And then down here, I have my wool cutting mat, or pressing mat, but it just kind of gets moved around wherever. Then in this drawer, I have project bags cut out to sew, but they're more summery, so I'm not going to work on those right now. These are project bags I have made, ready to be purchased in my Etsy shop. This is some stamped tea towels that my mom did, and they just need to be embroidered. And I need to do that. I think sometime I'm going to do it, but I haven't ever pulled them out. But it's like, well, I could do one and it's just something I'd like to do because they were hers, and I would like to finish some of them and give them to the girls, but I never seem to pull them out of there. Then next, I have my mom's machine, and this is kind of a funny story. When my mom passed away in 2010, she had this machine, and she had another machine you'll see that was newer, and she actually had another Singer that is down in the basement. But anyway, this paint machine, gosh, I remember her when I was growing up. She sewed our clothes on this paint machine, and it has been used a lot. You can see the paint that's missing there. She bought it new. Dad bought it new for her. And like I said, that's the original cabinet too. But she made all of our clothes growing up, my sister and I had a brother. Of course, she didn't make much for him probably, unless it was shirts, but and Dad. So anyway, this is an American Home, and when she passed away and we were cleaning out the house, I wasn't into collecting the vintage sewing machines, so it ended up, we sold this for $50 to a guy that my daughter works with at the bank, and he bought it for his wife. So then, within probably a couple of years, I got into collecting vintage machines, and I don't know how many times I had said, I wish I had my mom's pink sewing machine back, and I just, all the time, we'd be looking at a sewing machine, it's like, I just wish I had my mom's pink sewing machine, and thought, well, we have no idea where it's at now. So anyway, to my surprise, my husband had my daughter talk to the guy from the bank that she sold it to, and they put it in the garage when he bought it and had never used it. And so Steve asked if we could buy it back, and he sold it back to Steve, and I got it that year for Christmas. So they surprised me with it. So of course I was bawling like a baby when I got it, because I had to close my eyes, and I carried it out and set it in the living room. But yeah, but the kicker is we sold it to him for $50, and Steve bought it back for $75. So it's kind of a funny story that goes along with it. That's another vintage sewing chair. The seat on it does not open up either. And then over here is some scrap vintage fabric and just a bunch of glues and stuff. These are some of my AccuQuilt dies, right? Okay, I just hit the screen, so it cut off on me. So we're going to be piecing this together. But anyway, these are some of my AccuQuilt dies. Scissors. This has got little scraps of fabric in them. They're good size, but I mean, they're smaller. Probably fat quarter and smaller. I got my big AccuQuilt dies down there, and my cutting boards, and a little fuzz ball. And then this little thing thinks she gets her way on everything, and she probably does, really, to be honest. But Then over here I have some Rubbermaid containers with drawers. It's just some things to do, some repairs or whatever, small things. I can't even tell. Beeswaxers. I made a bunch of beeswaxers last summer. Sewing machine parts, some thread, glue guns, large glue sticks, small glue sticks. These are vinyl zippers I use in my bag making. These are, oh, more zippers, just a variety. I got felt in the bottom. Over here we have, oh, I have thread here. I have comic book board here, which is what I wrap all my yardage around. Paper cutter. You never know what you find, but a box of my buttons all go in there. I've got some cardstock. What do I have there? Orphan blocks. This is where I've made a quilt, and I have like some of the blocks left over, and I just shove them in there. New washcloths that we use. I'll take and put some of these out once in a while, but I also had thought about putting them in my Etsy store, and I haven't done that. These are just easels for propping up cross-stitch pieces or whatever. Okay, so let me back up. This is my cutting table. All right, time out for a drink. Just a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm getting hot. Okay, let me go back over here and do this. This is my wall of sewing, vintage sewing items. I collect anything that's vintage sewing related. My dad worked for John Deere for many years, about my whole life that I can remember. And I found some old John Deere things that he had. He had an old magazine that had some ads for John Deere in them. And they did originally start out making buggies. That's hard to see, and I can't put my phone up there any higher. This is a sales receipt from, I can't tell, looks like the 30s, 1930. And then as you come on down, I have my cutting rulers. This is a vintage piece that would have gone into a store, and you could go in there and buy your bobbin shuttles, your sewing needles, and it would tell you what machine you have. You could look it up and it would give you the right needle. So I had looked for one of these for years and finally found one at the antique mall. So I've only had that maybe 2 years at the most. Let's see, that's just my catch-all bin. The black spinner, I don't want to let go of my phone because I'm getting shaky if I don't use two hands. But the black spinner, it's just got odd and end stuff in it. It came from Harbor Freight, and I really like using that. The red basket, I put scrap fabric when I'm trimming something down in it. That's a Lazy Susan with paint brushes, pencils, brush cleaner, my Joann Fabric receipts for taxes. Just messy stuff. Like I said, I don't get things cleaned up very well, and then it starts getting messy again. So I'm going to back up again. I have a mechanic's toolbox that I keep little cross-stitch stuff in. Let me see if I can get up here and hold the phone at the same time. These have buttons. Oh, I'm having to lean a long ways. More buttons and stuff. See if I can get over here. This has, I don't even know, needle cases. Scissors, little scissors. A stopwatch. Wait a minute, I wanted to go back up here. This is a fob I made many years ago. Now I can't get a hold of it. I did that over one thread. I don't remember what the pattern is. So anyway, down here, I never get in these drawers for anything. They've got magnifiers, magnet boards. I just rarely ever get in any of this. There's magnet boards. And the little ladybug and pig I use to clean my cutting mat off with. This I get threads off of stuff. Calendar, which was this away, but now I even need to switch it over to November. So it is, I believe, November 5th today. So, there. This is my, well, let's go up here. Let me get around my light. This is some white glass that, you know, it's the same ones as everybody puts their scissors in the rim of it. I just got 3 of them stacked up there. Some framing tape and bumper pads for the frame. That's a piece of wax beehive. Just some little doodads. That spool back there in the back, I showed that on one of my videos a while back. It's was from Roveris. I bought it at a kit at the retreat in Orange Beach where they were. Got that done. It came with the, didn't come with the yellow scissors, but it came with everything else. And it has a laying tool and a seam ripper. And then a little hand-carved bunny and a bird. And this little yellow egg cup that I was going to turn into a pincushion at some point. Let me go back around here. Whoa! Okay, well this is going to be probably a total mess, so I may have to redo this. That's white cases, a bobbin winder, and some speakers that go to my laptop if I want to use them. This wall is, there goes a big truck by. This wall is my Prairie Schooler alphabet. I started those many years ago and finished them up just a couple of years ago, so I just kind of worked on them from time to time. They are using all the called for colors. They're done on 28 count lamb's wool linen. And let's see, guess that's about it. Oh, they're in a 6x8 frame that I painted them. I ordered the frames and then I painted them. I ordered them unfinished from Eastside Molding, and they still make frames. So over here, let's see, did I mention my BenQ light? That's my BenQ light. It's really a nice light. The company sent it to me in exchange for doing a review on them, and I really do like it. Then over here is a cabinet. Up there at the top, I have on the left is instructions for a quilt that my mom hand wrote for a drunkard's path. And so I put it in a frame with her hand, because it had her handwriting on it. A couple of empty containers and a button jar and a big Wizard of Oz. I love Wizard of Oz. Pin cushion, vintage pin cushion, and then just a shaker box, or not a shaker box, but it's just one of those cardboard boxes that has shells on it. And then, let's see, these are pre-cut sewing pieces. I have them marked from 1.5 inch square, 1.5 inch strip, 2-inch squares, and 2-inch strips. So it goes on up from there. This little guy right here is a water sprinkler for your laundry before you iron it. Then over on this side, I have some more vintage stuff here. My officially retired crown. And then the little sewing machine was a Hallmark ornament my daughter gave me. The teacup I got from a floss tube friend. And let's see, go on down. I got my teas in that red box. Oil cans, I like the little bitty oil cans whenever I can find them. Then on down, these are old planners from years past. All my bobbins to the different machines, a thing of scissors, a couple of lava lamps. Let me back up. I'll do that wall and then whoops, I forgot this side. I'll do that wall and then I'll back up. So this has one of my Singer featherweights setting on it. I have, I think, 5 featherweights now. So I just, from time to time, I like to get them out and sew on a quilt with them. So that's kind of what all that is. You can see this wall here. The bird over on the left I found at Goodwill, and it's needlepoint, but I brought it home and it had glass on it, so it wasn't too dirty, but a little bit. But I took the glass off of it and reframed it in the same frame. The middle piece here is, what is it called? I cannot think of the name of it. It's by Just Nan, and that was back in 2003, but she did a couple of patterns that are similar to this. She did one I think is more Christmassy, but anyway, this one, we had a Dalmatian, and when I was working on it, our Dalmatian, I had told this story in a prior floss tube, but when I was working on it, she got my cross-stitch piece and swallowed a needle, and we had to have emergency surgery done on her, and she spent 10 days in the University of Missouri Veterinary Hospital, and cost us a fortune, but she was only 3 months old at the time, so we felt like we had to do what we could do to save her. So this Singer sign, it's just something I found on the internet. I printed it off and stuck it in a frame because I really like the old look to it. This little boysenberries, my husband found. It's on 14 count Aida, or 18 count. I think it's 14 count. This would have been from Told in the Garden, but he found it in a storage unit, so I just kind of propped it up there by that house. These are some random quilt blocks and a pattern envelope from my mom. So I just have them pinned up there. Some blue upholstery fabric that I planned to upholster a couple of chairs. That's never happened in the last 10 years, probably. This is a vintage Wizard of Oz poster. It came in that frame. It was super dirty. Took it all apart, reframed it. And then, so over to my little shadow box house. My husband found this at a garage sale for 50 cents. And I just put some little odd and end sewing things in it. I had a guy at work that used to come in to see some of our engineers. And their company, I don't know how they do it, if it's CNC machines or what they use. But anyway, he brought this to me one day. And he had made it. It's made out of aluminum, but he had done my name. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then the little bee I got at StitchCon last year. One of my table mates, Barb, she stitched that for us. She had gosh, get my brain working. She had a little basket that she had made for us, and she had stitched that, and I can't remember what else was in there right offhand, but anyway, I got that from her at StitchCon last year. This is my drink station. I have my Keurig there with my little cups. I have my refrigerator here that has sodas in it. Holds 4 cans of soda. A little bowl of dog food for Tootie. And then there's just some pencils and stuff back there. Down here, move my chair, and I know I'm shaking, I'm so sorry. Down here in this unfinished cabinet is fabric. It's all shirting, so it's for quilts at some point. But this machine here Try to get a little. Hi, Toot. So this machine is also my mom's. That's the one that I said she had gotten a newer machine before Dad passed away. So it sits there, and I sew on it once in a while. I'm going to back up because I'm going to have to move this in a minute. This is just a table that Steve found in a storage unit. I have another one exactly like it out in the garage, and it's kind of like, well, I don't want to get rid of it, but I don't know what to do with it yet either. But anyway, I made it a really large ironing board instead. It was too low because it hurt my back, so he made these little things down there that are 4 pieces of plywood, and he just made the little outside boxes and put the rollers on them, and then we raised it up and screwed them in. So I'll pull this out of the way. And it's on the rollers, and I roll it around a lot to get it out of my way. These drawers, they're just scrap, solid, or not scrap, they're yardage, but they're solid color cotton fabric for quilting. So I'm not going to lean over and open them up. But that's just all solid color quilt fabric. The metal piece right here I bought last year. No, I bought that this year on vacation. I've got 1.5 inch strips of fabric stored in them. The white. Okay, I just keep cutting this video off with my finger. Okay, so this right here, it's just a basket that's got some 108 inch yardage in it. So it's just stored there because I don't know what to do with 108 inch wide fabric, because you can't really wrap it around anything. So it's just folded up down there to keep it clean. Let me see if I can get this pulled back in there. That's my Oreck vacuum to clean up. Then on over here, this is a chair that Steve got me for Christmas last year. It's one of those saddle chairs. I really like it. It raises up and down, so it depends on what height you need. Let's see. And then on over here, this is a little, it's kind of like the train cases, but he found, I found this at Goodwill. I was going to say he found it in a storage unit, but I found it at Goodwill. And I put a bunch of stuff in it. This was when the train cases first started getting popular. And I thought, I think I can do the same thing with these. So I just cleaned it up and put all kinds of, let me see if I can switch my finger out. Sorry. Switch it out there so you can see. But I've got like a measuring, it's going to fall on me. Hand sanitizer, measuring tape, notepad, pencils, hand cream, chapstick, lotion. Just about anything you would need if you weren't at home. Let's see if I can get this in here one-handed. And then this has some scissors, some of my business cards, a boo-boo stick for getting your little threads out of your fabric, screwdrivers, and then, I'm not sure, a piece of dust. So I took that to StitchCon with me last year. Then this is on the outside of my closet door. It's just a rack that, boy, we're getting a lot of light for some reason. I've got the blind pulled behind me because the sun is shining in there. But this is my little pickup stick. If I drop something, I can't hardly reach it. This is all you need is love and a dog. Some bags. I tend to hold on to these kind of bags if I can get them. I put the foot pedals to my sewing machines in them and mark them as to which machine they go with. This down here is a map of where I have shipped some of my project bags that I've sold out to the different states, but I am so far behind on it that I don't know if I'll ever get back to marking them. Then over on this wall, we're almost out back around where we started. This is, let me scoot out a little bit. I'm going to have to go up higher, I guess. There's such a glare. My oldest daughter, stitched this when she was really, really little. I guess she was maybe 5 or 6. But anyway, she stitched that. Home is where you hang your heart. This piece, yeah, we're getting that glare off that window. So this piece, I don't remember where I got it. Let me open the doors, and hopefully I won't disrupt anything in it. It's just got some small sewing things in there. This is a piece that I stitched on 40 count gauze, 1/1. It's with a half, or just what, do they call it a half stitch? I think it's just the half of a cross stitch, so whatever that is. Some more wooden and plastic hoops that I don't use. My serger that I only use it anymore. I used to make sweatshirts and stuff, but I only use it to go around fabric now when I get ready to cross stitch. And then down in this drawer is just interfacing and stabilizer. This is the mess that I left for you to see because I didn't want to move it. This is Christmas fabric that I bought recently for some project bags. And then some vintage fabric. This is actually old vintage fabric, and I don't know what I want to do with it, but maybe someday make a vintage quilt. And then down in this box is my 1930s reproduction fabric. I had to put it all in there the other day because I ran out of room in my closet for fabric. And you're going to see what I mean when I open this door. This is fabric that I paired up for bags that I haven't got made yet. And I'll probably put off till after the first of the year. These are clips that I bought. And I am going to fasten my fabric down on my comic book cards or boards with them. Right now I've used pins, hairpins, paper clips. I don't like them, so I bought those, and I'm going to get ready to switch those out. So here is my fabric closet. Let me turn the light on. So this is the fabric closet. Everybody says I could have a store in here, and yeah, but I love buying fabric. So down here at the bottom, we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. So the purple lid is a Rubbermaid with tools in it. Just regular old household tools that I might need. Because whenever I ask my husband for something, he's got to go find it. So I know where mine is. So I have my own toolbox. That is my binding machine. That is right here. Then the other white Rubbermaid is binding machine supplies. I got some CDs there. These are over here. These are pillowcases that I cut up and make sleeves for my scroll rods for my projects. Back behind there, back behind here is some flaxseed and lizard litter that I use to fill some of my pillows and stuff. This container here is full of jelly rolls. Could move the broom at least. The next one up, I've got a bunch of layer cakes. This is string. Quilters call them strings because they're just long, skinny pieces, and you can make a quilt with them. So that's what those are. These are some fabrics that I just haven't done anything with. Mat board for framing. A couple of dowel rods. My husband makes my own dowel rods for my scroll frames, so I got a couple of those. And so we'll start on this side and work our way up. So these are all like my polka dot stripe fabric that I would use in things. This shelf is fall pumpkins right in here. this, I'm going to wrap around because I think it's going to be the easiest. I was going to go up, but as we wrap around on the bottom, after you get past the dots and stripes and stuff, we're going into blacks and Halloween. No, I'm wrong. These are just blacks here. That is Halloween, and that's Halloween, but they're really supposed to be up on this shelf. So, move on around here. These are the 1880s, I believe is what they call them, reproduction fabric. And then the next shelf is what I have as far as Halloween fabric for quilt making or bag making, or that's about all I do. So this is all Halloween until we get back over here to where we saw the fall. And then up here starts my Christmas. So this is Christmas all along here. Kind of try to keep them somewhat in color, but not totally. So I love this Frosty the Snowman fabric. I haven't cut it up yet. This is all patriotic now from here over to the corner of the wall. And then as we go up, we're into reds. I now have everything sorted into colors. So I have reds, yellows, oranges. These are novelty fabrics all along here. So just, I don't know, just odd and end fabric. This up here is the purples. And some odd and end florals. Some blues. I have tropical back there in the back. Kind of beachy theme. These are my pinks. These are sewing themed. Some more florals and blues. And more blues. Keep going. Greens. I then get into the greens. And then at the very top, you're going to get, hope I don't blind you with that light up there. Grays, beiges, off-whites, whites. If it's got a white background, it goes with the whites. Even if it's like a floral print or something, it depends on the background, and the whites are over here. I take these and I fold them in half and I mount them on comic book board. And I'll show you what I was talking about. Whoops. Let me pull one out. That, you see here, I put a pin in it. And I pull these out and then I snag my hands on those pins. So I'm going to switch those out, take them out and put those little plastic clips on them. So that is the fabric closet, other than the door. And I have this full of, this is one of those shoe racks. And I have my yardstick. I have glue, spray adhesive, glue sticks, Mod Podge, safety glasses, Splenda for my tea, more glue, spray finishes, a tea ruler, and a dustpan, and that is everything. So that is all of what I have, and whenever I get to the point that I can, and then you can see the balconies doors right out there where we started. So when I can, I'm going to try to get my quilting room cleaned up where my long arm is, and I will try to do a video of it. And until then, Tootie's gonna cry. We're gonna have to go downstairs and sit down for a while and be held. And I will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's not too wiggly for you. I'm gonna watch it back, and if it is, then I will redo it. So Until then, have a great weekend. Bye.